Hi, and welcome to another episode of Emerald Isle Vacation Home Specialist. I am your host, Dennis Richkovsky. Some of you recognize me as the co-owner of Flip Flops Donuts, and some of you know me as your broker of real estate, specializing in waterfront and water view properties along the Crystal Coast, especially on Bogue Banks and in Emerald Isle, North Carolina. One of the benefits of living at the coast full-time is that I get to witness the change from summer into fall. And one of the harbingers of that change is the annual mullet blow, which occurs like clockwork every August. This episode is all about mullet fishing along the Crystal Coast, an annual event worth knowing about. While many Americans know the mullet primarily as a dubious haircut, the 12 to 18-inch fish was once the lifeblood of Bogue Banks and other fishing villages along the North Carolina coast. Beginning in late August, anglers look out into the ocean expecting a mullet blow, a run of tens of thousands of striped mullet. It occurs a few times each fall along the Atlantic coast when a cold front accompanies a brisk northeast wind, chilling the waters and triggering a huge mullet migration southward. When that mullet blow happens, fishermen carry out a tradition that is one of the few remaining haul send operations in the country. One man cranks up a 1940s tractor to life and uses it to back an old dory laden with 400 yards of heavy-duty net into the sea. The men attach one end of the net to the tractor, the other end to another vintage tractor down the beach. The boat pilot heads out about 100 yards into the surf, then makes a semicircle back towards the shore as fishermen wade in, lifting and fanning out the net, making sure it corrals the fish. When all is secure, the two tractors slowly haul the catch to shore. Hard to imagine, but this whole process takes no more than 20 minutes. I was on Bogue Inlet Pier on September 1st and the winds were calm, or even light, and from the southeast. Nary a hint of the mullet triggering cool northeast breeze in sight. And the surf and sound water temperatures were in the mid-80s. What did I see? Well, no, not 8 tiny reindeer, and certainly nary a mullet. Nothing is normal in 2020, and neither is the timing of the annual mullet blow. Over the Labor Day weekend, however, we were finally blessed with a brisk, cool northeast wind, and on Bogue Inlet Pier, the mullets responded in the expected, usual epic proportions. As many as 100 million might pass by us daily in the surf. Staggering numbers. Over the years, this biological migratory phenomenon has taken place from late August to early September, driven by the shortening of the hours of daylight, lowering of water temperatures, and triggered by a good northeast blow. The massive migration of these forage fish out of our creeks and sounds rings the dinner bell for fall to begin, and the trum, the flounder, and speckled trout are following their tails out into the inlets and along our shores. So who are these fish of forage, you ask? First of all, they are not in any way related, except via fins, to the sea mullet, also known as the kingfish or whiting, also called the Virginia mullet. The mullets in our waters are actually in a family which contains nearly 70 species of fish worldwide. North Carolina is home to 2 of these species. The first is the striped mullet, also known as the hardhead, Popeye, or jumping mullet. And these are the celebrated stars at the annual Swansboro Mullet Festival. The second and more diminutive member of the family is the silver or white mullet, most commonly known as on the beach as the finger mullet, as they become finger food for many other foraging fish. Named for horizontal stripes that run laterally along their body, the striped mullet often grow to 3 pounds or more with a maximum of 3 feet and weighing in at an astonishing 12 pounds. The silver or finger mullet are not juvenile striped mullets. They are silver and have no stripes, do not have a flat head or pop eyes, and only attain a diminutive stature of inches and ounces and not feet and pounds. Since both of these fish feed on bits and pieces of living and or dead vegetation, neither of these mullets are routinely caught on hook and line, although there are many stories to the contrary, particularly with the striped mullet. Striped mullets are known to suck up dough balls with a concealed hook inside. Hooks notwithstanding, cast nets are the primary mode of commercial mullet fishing. While the seine or stop net is traditionally used for mullet fishing, nowadays most commercial fishing for mullet is done with a gill net. A gill net is a wall of mesh that hangs in the water column, typically made of monofilament or multifilament nylon. Mesh sizes are designed to allow fish to get only their heads through the netting, but not their body. The fish's gills then get caught in the mesh as the fish tries to back out of the net. Mullet, an oily, strong-flavored fish, is a regional specialty along the lines of Kentucky burgoo or Louisiana gator tail. It isn't likely to grace a gourmet menu, but it's a favorite home-cooked meal in southern coastal communities on the Crystal Coast. It's got to be cooked right, however. Pan-fried with salt, pepper, and butter. Cooking it any other way, according to my fishmonger, Mr. Willis, is like washing your feet with your socks on. The annual Mullet Festival in nearby Swansboro has served up countless fried mullet every fall for half a century. Most people use the fish as bait, says Pete Pallas, who manages the festival's food booths. But when it's real fresh, people have heated discussions over which is tastier. Mullet roe fried intact in its membrane or chopped and scrambled into eggs. So come on down and enjoy a pan-fried, in butter, mullet fresh out of the Atlantic Ocean here on Bogue Banks. And return next week to the same Bat channel at the same time, bat time of 9 a.m. on Thursday for another episode of Emerald Isle Vacation Home Specialist.